Huh? You ready? No? Or you want me to wait?
Good.
Okay. All right. This is just a planning meeting for the small group focus that will happen on Monday, November 3rd. Over the lesson that is going to be taught of Module 3, Topic 5. Topic F. Excuse me. Lesson 25 with Ms. Thompson and Ms. Hall and myself, Dr. Coleman. So can we go over the PLC norms real quick?
Yep, I did. Be present and engaged, build on each other's ideas, stay solution focused, assume positive intent, keep the focus on student growth.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. I appreciate it. All right, so in this today, my purpose of our planning will be just to align on what students should know, what they should show, what those misconceptions could be, and how inclusion support will look, as well as planning for small group instruction, clarifying what the transitions will look like from whole groups to small group, defining the roles and responsibilities, targeting skills, defining the look fors, and hopefully just producing the exemplars as well as the know and show chart, misconceptions and support chart regarding that. And I also have it to where we can type into this document as well too. So just thinking of the flow from whole group to small group. So basically from whole group Thompson, what does the end of the whole group look like and sound like when students are ready to move to small group?
85% mastery
Okay.
on as in tickets.
Okay.
100% participation in class.
Okay. How will we communicate to students like why they're moving to small group?
I don't know. They know what it is. They ask for it.
Okay.
So I mean, they know when 9 o'clock hit. It's
Gotcha.
small group time.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. And then so just kind of thinking ahead, what would the groups look like potentially for a small group on Monday?
I don't know what they look like.
Meaning like what would your groups, different groups be like for group?
I have a teacher led, an independent, and a group on the computer.
Okay. And then Ms. Hall would have her group as well too. Is that not correct?
I have my 2 students, yes.
Right. All right. So based on that, and so what the lesson is about, and what are you teaching that day? Whole group is concerned.
Lesson 25, I believe. It's representing numerically 4-digit dividend, 4-digit dividend division. What? 4-digit dividend division. Jesus. With 2, 3, 4, and 5, with divisors of 2, 3, 4, and 5, decomposing the remainder up to 3 times.
Okay. And then, what do you think they should know to be able to do this?
The steps to long division, or the steps to any division strategy they use. Make sure their digits are aligned. Evidence cross-checking, multiplication. This also have strip diagrams in there, so they should be able to dissect a word problem, put it into strip diagrams, and also solve for a strip diagram.
What strategies are you definitely going to teach them as their go-to items to use?
So I taught 4, maybe 5 strategies of division. I allow them to choose whichever strategy works best for them. So there's not one set strategy. It's whatever they're comfortable with they use.
Would you mind naming the strategies?
Yes. Things on my board. Chip model, standard algorithm.
Was that the area model?
Box method. Big 7. Number bond. Well, number bond and big 7 go together, but they use it as 2 different strategies. Is that one more? That's 5.
4.
5. Chip, standard, box, number bond, and big 7.
So based on those strategies, Ms. Hall, what strategies, since you have tier 3 students, would be your one strategy that you would definitely want students to use?
So I have sped students which are beyond tier 3, and the students that I work with are more comfortable with using the place value chart, which is essentially the chip model, And some students are getting comfortable using long division, which is, you have your bigger number here, smaller number there, and working through it.
So within that, how would you make sure that you scaffold the support without lowering the rigor?
So, because most of my students are still trying to get familiar with the concept of division, some of them still do not fully understand it. For the small group, I start off with some problems that meet the students where they are, and then as they master it, they go on to more complex problems as they go.
I don't think they're not understanding. I feel, and this is happening. They see the support that's given. So it's like they won't do work until she come in there.
Got it.
So it's not that they don't know. The only person I can specifically say don't know what's going on is Emmanuel. Everybody else knows what's going on. Everybody else can do the work by themselves. They just choose not to do it because they want.
They want her to. Okay.
Yeah.
So back to the question that I actually asked, and I understand you saying that they're in different spaces and lower. How do you scaffold to make sure that you can bring them up? So what does the scaffolds look like? Like what would that actually look like?
Again, and I uploaded it in my lesson plans. I have for the small group lesson, you see where it starts off with you're dividing 2 digit by 1 digit, and then it moves up to 3 digit by 1 digit, 4 digit by 1 digit, where the rigor gets more complicated as I see the mastery of this.
Okay, so my next question is, what visuals would you use to support them? To help support them in that? Like what concrete models would you use to go along with that? Because yes, you can use that and have questions with that, but how would you support them being tier 3, like concrete, then your pictorial, and then your abstract?
So, like I said, most of my students are more interested in using place value to divide. So we do have a place value chart. We do have these manipulatives where they can actually physically put it on here and move things around.
Okay, so let's practice real quick of like what that would actually look like in that, and so that's a part of our plan and practice of what that would look like. So let's say that we have a question. So what is a question in the lesson that we can use to divide? Yes, ma'am.
I have one here.
Okay. So what would you do for tier 1?
Tier 1.
Well, can you tell me the problem?
Well, I'm gonna go. We starting at 3 digits.
Okay.
So 804 divided by 4.
Okay.
The lesson before this, I believe, maybe. What did I just say? I don't even remember. But it's incorporating zeros in either the dividend or the quotient. So pushing. I let them choose. Well, when I do it, my model, I ask them what strategy they gonna use. They tell me, so I do make sure I do 3 linear, the 3 that they choose. Starting with chip model is one that they do like to use for the tier 2 and 3. So I start chip model.
Okay.
So they can ask me the questions, get the questions out of the way. So I'm asking them, what's our first step? What do we do in our first step? They should be able to tell me that we're dividing 4 into 4. Okay. They're looking at the multiplication chart. They do have those on here. I know 4 divided by 4 is 1 because if I multiply 4 times 1, it's going to give me 4. So going through all of those steps with them, where is the zero in this dividend? How does the zero affect the quotient in the place value chart? Did you decompose the remainder in each place value? Those are the independent questions or the questions that I'm asking through. So whether it's and then the questions are usually the same because everything is the same. The strategy or their thought process is different. So modeling it out and then having them to model it or explain their process back to me.
Perfect. Okay, so Ms. Hall, what question would you do?
So I pulled up 6,948 divided by 2.
It's gonna come up so we can see. Go ahead.
So the students usually use chips.
You can go ahead and display how you do it.
So the students usually use chips. They will put them into each section. I always have the students take that number and put it into the place value chart. Thousands with thousands, hundreds with hundreds, tens with tens, and ones with ones. The students know that once they do this, the number that's present in the chart will determine how many chips that you put in to each section. First one, of course, you're doing 6 chips. You know, second one, you're doing 9 chips, so on and so forth. And then the students look at this number here and decide how many groups they need to divide this number directly into. The students go ahead and draw some lines at the bottom, and they put group 1, group 2, and because they use the physical chips, they will pick up one and put it into each group. They'll look at how many are here. There's 6. Is there enough chips to divide them or give each of these groups 1 chip? They'll say yes. They'll put one in each group. And then they'll look at what remains. Is there enough to give them another chip each? Yes. And so they'll keep going down that process for all of these until it's equally divided. If there's anything remaining, the students, I'll ask the students, what would this, last chip here represent? What do we call it? The students go ahead and call it the remainder, and then they get their, full answer. On this particular problem, there is no remainder.
Got a quick question, and it's based on this big 2 groups, right? So there's a 9. So there's 4 in each group for the hundreds, and then there's 1 left over. How would you tell a tier 3 student, or what would you do?
So the STED students that I work with are already familiar with moving this extra chip over into the next category and converting it into the tens. So, that's what they do. I believe you saw me working with Kaden on that the other day, and you took a picture of it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was that, and so it has no remainder for that one. My other question is this: would you start with a 4-digit number, or would you start with a lower number?
Right, so that goes back to what I started with at the beginning. I'm meeting my students where they are, because as of right now, I don't believe all of my students are at the level of dividing 4-digit by 1-digit. Most of my students are familiar with 2-digit and 3-digit division. So I have some here based on the student's level where they are starting off with 2-digit by 1-digit, and once I see master, they move up to 3-digit and then 4-digit.
What I'm seeing with my sped kids, them chips, it do confuse them. Like, they get it, but it confuses. It's a lot to have to decompose and move over.
That yet.
So box method has been working.
The way we talked about with me, you stamped it.
Yes, you call it something different.
Lattice.
Lattice.
Yes.
Lattice is working amazing.
Okay. So, you want to go ahead and show the lattice method real quick? Have you used lattice by chance?
So again, my students are more familiar with the chip method and have told me that they prefer it. I have yet to see them confused by it. I worked with Kaylee today, in which she was working with long division, and she did well with that method as well with the chip method.
Okay. And that's fine, but they will also need to know a different method because of the simple fact that based on how it is on STAR, they will need to know more than one type of method to use when it comes to that, and just making sure that they are exposed to a different method other than the chip method.
So
Because
as I'm not the main math teacher, they are already familiar with the 5 methods that Thompson has said that she taught them. I asked them when I get together with them, which do you prefer? And they have all consistently told me the place value chart.
so
I've
when
yet to see them struggling with it.
yes, ma'am. So when in small group, one last question that I have for both of you is, how will you check that they understand the parts of the problem?
I do CFS during each step when I first model mine. I do CFS, but not only is it a CFS for me, but it's for them too. I also do an error analysis, where I do something wrong in a problem, or I put a problem up and have them tell me work the problem out, tell me what the error is and why it's the error with the correct answer. That's what I do.
What do you do to check for understanding?
So for my students, I have them actually walk me through the problem because my small groups are very small. I'm either working with 1 or 2 students. I have them walk me through their steps, like show me your reasoning, how did you get your answer? And so they walk me step by step. They also have the ability to walk their partner through the step if I have more than one person in the group. So I can see them walking each other through it and seeing if they got a clear understanding of what they just solved.
Okay. So based on our next steps, what is one thing that you think you're gonna commit to doing to Monday's lesson, Thompson?
I don't know. I wanna give them some sort of productive struggle, like because it's coming so easy to them. So probably checking their work another way with a different strategy. So I'm gonna commit to that.
Okay. Is there a particular strategy that you're gonna name for them to use, or you're gonna allow them to choose?
I'm gonna allow them to choose it. I like the Big 7. I'm rocking with the Big 7 this year. I didn't like it last year,
Right.
so I'm gonna push for Big 7. But for my whichever five they want to, whichever other one they want to out of the 5, I'm cool with that.
And Ms. Hall, what is going to be your commitment in regards to what you're going to do for Monday's lesson?
Yeah, so my commitment is to continue supporting students using the models that they prefer, that they feel more comfortable with, and also making sure I'm implementing all the IEP accommodations so that they're fully supported and giving them, you know, all the supplemental aids that they have a right to.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all taking the time.
Have a great weekend.
You too.